Welcome to the Saints Sports Corner. We got a great show for today. We're going to be talking about Drew Brees getting into the Hall of Fame. It's mock draft Monday, so of course we're going to have a mock draft. We're also going to be talking about a potential Saint that could get into the Hall of Fame that may have a case. We got a lot more of that on the Saints Sports Corner.
Yeah. Who that? Who that? Who that said they gon' beat them Saints? A win is a win by a mile or an inch. It's any given Sunday when we battling in the trenches. Who that? We that? Who that? We that? Die hard even after an L. Still reppin' in my section, yelling outside the dome, going home. Who that? We that? Black and gold soul, that's my song. Who that? We that? Who that? We that? Touchdown Saints putting points on the board is how my squad steady winning. Sacks on D, turnovers, wow, don't even think about. Coming back, it's already late in the fourth now. We that, who that, we that, who that, who that, who that. 4,000-yard QB, 1,000-yard rusher, 1,200-yard receiver, straight pressure. Lockdown corner, throw that ball if you want to. TFL's in the backfield, boy, we on you. Black and gold, so that's what I'm all about. Forget about the division, the Saints run the South. Who that, we that. Who that? We that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that? Who that?
Welcome in, Saints fans. You already know what it is, man. If you subscribe, make sure you hit that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe and hit that like button, man. But as always, man, let's get right to it. Let's dive right in on this beautiful Monday morning, man. Look, Drew Brees got into the Hall of Fame, first ballot. We already know that was going to happen. Drew Brees was a quarterback like no other, the most accurate passer of all time. A guy that threw the ball up and down the field. He's second in almost every statistical category when it comes to a quarterback. He was first for a while, but obviously Brady played a little longer and broke those records. Drew Brees was not only a model citizen in the New Orleans area, man, but on the football field, he was a fearless leader. Drew Brees is the type of quarterback that only come around once every 20 years. What he did for New Orleans, a suffering, terrible, perennial loser, this guy, Drew Brees, completely turned the city of New Orleans upside down. There was already a lot of Saints fans in New Orleans, but not as many as they are now. If you was from New Orleans pre-Katrina and you grew up watching Saints football, the Superdome was empty all the time. People were wearing bags. You had more Cowboys, just as many Cowboys, Steelers, and San Francisco 49ers fans. And they probably still are. You had so many other fans outside of the Saints that when Drew Brees came in, everybody rallied around the Saints. Everybody rallied around the Saints. The Who Dat Nation got stronger. The Saints fan, we got more prideful, man. Drew Brees gave us something to root for. He gave us heart. He gave us a chance. You know, the things I remember about Drew Brees is that no matter what, you felt like you had a chance in the fourth quarter. No matter what, you felt like you had a chance to blow a team out. No matter what, you felt like he was going to give you his best every single game. Drew Brees is probably the most underrated quarterback to ever play in the National Football League. There's going to be kids going to Canton looking at Drew Brees' statistics, and they're going to be like, this guy got a bunch of Super Bowls. This guy got a bunch of Super Bowls. But wait. Who's this guy with all these records? Who's this guy? Like, you cannot tell the NFL story without telling it, without mentioning the name Drew Brees. Drew Brees came to New Orleans where people were running away. They was trying to move the team to San Antonio. Drew Brees helped revive a city that was struggling, that was down and out. Drew Brees, to me, and the type of things I'm going to be talking about until I'm long, and until the type of messages I'm going to be telling people about Drew Brees is that he was a killer. He wanted it bad. There were so many times that his defenses basically ruined his chances to get more Super Bowls. But he always had his team in position to win. At 6 foot, 5'11", maybe. Who knows? Like, what he did at that position is nothing short of incredible. A guy at that height, basically over guys that's 6 inches taller than him, throwing darts, dimes, and to be the most accurate passer of all time, kudos to Drew Brees. He deserves every accolade, man. I'm so proud of him, man. I'm so proud that he chose us, him and Sean Payton. We got to actually see what functional football looked like. We got to actually see what striving to be great looked like. We got to see a master or masters at work when it comes to perfecting their craft, play calling, in sync with an elite quarterback. That was nothing short of special. What I will say is, in Sean Payton's Drew Brees time, I challenge anyone to even ask Brees. I think Drew Brees has played with the best collection of running backs that anybody has ever played with in NFL history. I challenge anybody to go do that research. Drew Brees has played with some of the best collection of running back talent the league has ever seen. Like, I was thinking about all those names that this guy played with, man. We don't even realize this dude had Reggie Bush and Deuce McAllister to start out. Then he went Pierre Thomas, Reggie Bush, Mike Bell. Then he went Chris Ivory. Then he went Mark Ingram. And then he went Chris Ivory. And then he went Mark Ingram and AK. Sprinkled with, I forgot about Darren Sproles. Man, this guy has some running back talent, man. Shout out to Sean Payton. There's nobody who evaluates running backs like Sean Payton, man. This guy, and I'm sure there's more that I'm missing. But we have some running backs down here, man, when I think about it, when I reflect on his career. Drew Brees is the GOAT. I don't think he's the best quarterback to ever play. But if you asking me to take a quarterback, it's out of him and Peyton every time. That's just my opinion. I put Brady 3. But man, Drew Brees, man. Hall of Famer, first ballot. Kudos to Drew Brees, man. He deserve it, man. He deserve it. So big ups to Drew Brees. Congratulations to you, man. We all pulling for you. I might have to take a trip to Canton when you go in. So let's give Drew Brees a round of applause. Congrats, man. Congrats on your Hall of Fame. Congrats on your career. We appreciate you in New Orleans, man. But let's move on. Now, I want to talk about a guy that is going to be tough to get in the Hall of Fame. First ballot, it's going to be tough to get in the Hall of Fame, period. I want to talk about a guy like Marcus Colston. And if I'm bigging up Marcus Colston, if I'm Marcus Colston, I'm hoping guys like Hines Ward, I'm hoping guys like, who else? Because Marcus Colston statistically do have better statistics than a lot of guys. What plagues Marcus Colston is the era he came in. He was in an era when the guys like Larry Fitzgerald, Julio Jones, a lot of guys that, you know, were more physically talented than him. Andre Johnson, another one. He was in that era. And a lot of those guys got those accolades. The problem with Marcus Colston is he didn't make any Pro Bowls. His stats don't wow you. He just did his job. He overachieved based on his talent, his 40 time everything. But Marcus Colston changed the game. I always tell people there's two people I actually seen wide receivers make corners quit, and it was Randy Moss and Marcus Colston. And I got the tape to prove it. Marcus Colston, man, caught everything. He was quiet. He was not a rah-rah guy. He just caught everything. But the NFL recognized how talented Marcus Colston was. I remember the Super Bowl year where they was looking at the top wide receivers and Revis shutting down people. Marcus Colston was like high on that list of the people that he shut down, but he had just as much yards, if not more, than everybody else. So Marcus Colston is one of those people that deserve all of his accolades, all of his flowers. Now, is he going to get in? Probably not. He's probably not going to get in. It's probably going to be one of those legacy wide receivers that get in. But you cannot tell Drew Brees' story without telling Marcus Colston's story. Same thing with Jari Evans. Like, you cannot tell these guys' story without telling Drew Brees' story, without telling the NFL story. Drew Brees, Sean Payton, and Marcus Colston changed the way the NFL attack seam routes. Completely changed it. Back shoulder throws. That's all Drew Brees, Marcus Colston, and Sean Payton. I challenge anybody to debate it. So if you completely change the way offenses play football, you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. And that will be my case for Marcus Colston. His statistics stack up. His statistics stack up. That's a fact. He will be top 15, top 20 in every statistical category for wide receiver. Sometimes top 10 when it comes to receiving touchdowns. So he should get in. The question is, how do the voters feel? If they didn't let Bill Belichick in, if they didn't let Robert Kraft in, man, that's going to be tough. And I do have an opinion about that. Like, I get that the writers, you want them to feel improved and all of that. I get all of that. But at the same time, man, it's hard to have an opinion about players that you never played against. It's hard to tell another player or Hall of Famers who's that dude when they actually played the game. I think they should have a vote, but I don't think should be a big enough vote to sway a players and coaches vote. That's just my opinion. Yeah, they still can vote, but I don't think they should have the defining vote that sways a Hall of Fame decision. It's just me, it's my opinion. Too many guys have played the game that have game planned against these players that know. Too many coaches have coached against these players that know how hard it was to stop these people. Yes, we can see that this guy is nice, this guy. But some people don't know the nuanced things that went into actually preparing for these players. And these guys do. That's just my opinion, humbly speaking. But Marcus Colston deserves a shot at the Hall of Fame, and I hope he get in. Like I said, it don't have to be Hall of Fame, but he is the leader in every statistical category when it comes to wide receivers in the New Orleans Saints organization. He was consistent. He didn't have no 1,200, 1,500 yard games like that, but because Drew was he's remarkable at finding the open guy. But at the same time, without number 12, Saints wouldn't win a Super Bowl. Go look at, if you don't think he's a Hall of Fame, go look at the Super Bowl. Go look at his numbers in the Super Bowl. Go look at his stat line. Catch after catch after big catch after catch after catch after catch. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. That's just my case. But now, let's finish this thing up, man. We're going to talk about our mock draft this Monday. Mock Draft Monday. Let's get into it. Let's get into Mock Draft Monday to finish this thing off, to cap this episode off. Let me get with the 8th pick. With the 8th pick, the New Orleans Saints draft David Bailey, edge rusher out of Texas Tech, a speed guy, a high production guy. Man, I was so scared of this pick because I don't really be trusting them Texas A&M and them Texas Tech edge rushers, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Some of them edge rushers that came out, man, haven't been really doing too much. But we went with one. We went with him. This guy can absolutely bend the edge, and like I said, Cam Jordan's not getting any older. So to have a prototypical edge rusher in a 3-4 scheme, that's nice. This is him. Bend the edge, get off the edge fast. A guy that can bend fast, hit them corners. That's what we needed at this 8th pick. You know, yes, the running back was on the board that everybody loved, Jeremiah Love. But like I said, for the sake of creativity, for the sake of being different, to dare to be different, we went with the pass rusher. Everything starts up front. Pick 42, linebacker Anthony Hill Jr. Now, this, I wouldn't have took a linebacker this high if Demario Davis wouldn't have been talking about potentially leaving. And he has every right. So I said, if he potentially is going to leave, let's go get us a linebacker, a decorated linebacker, a 5-star recruit in Anthony Hill Jr., a guy who has awards and accolades out the wazoo from Texas. You know, we already got his teammate. You know, so why not go get the captain of the team? Why not go get the linebacker? That was my pick at number 42. Let's keep this thing pushing. We ain't gonna stay. Then I went with at 73, Georgia Tech long big wide receiver Ted Hurst. A guy who can, just like Marcus Colson, a guy who could kill them scenes, get in and out of this break, make tough catches, high point the ball. We got a guy that he could go with Olave speed. We got a guy who's big, fast, and physical, and a guy who all he know how to do is catch the ball. Sure-handed guy. That's Ted Hurst out of Georgia Tech. That's what we picked up at the 73rd pick. The 132nd pick, another Samoan, Fa'alili Fayomi. I don't know if I murdered that name, but I ain't saying it again. Wake Forest, offensive tackle who's going to kick in guard. That's probably going to be his best position. Now you'll have a guy like him, and you'll have a guy like Bank on it next to each other, or Fuaga, him and the Samoan brothers on that right side, lighting people up. You know, so this guy from Wake Forest, this offensive tackle, another mauler, another guy who absolutely finishes plays, another guy who will help with that run game. Number 136, one of my favorite players in this draft, Joe Royal. I went and got the tight. He was sitting on the board like a so dumb. I went and got him again. A guy who can stretch the field. We need pass catching tight ends outside of Jawan Johnson. Yo, number 148, I went with Nick Singleton again. We need that speed. We need that burst. He don't have to start, but he needs a mismatch nightmare for linebackers and safeties. He could play the receiver position like Alvin Kamara do. He could take screens to the house. Look, Nick Singleton, number 148 pick. I went with 170, cornerback TJ Hall from Iowa. Another big corner, another physical corner, another guy who's technically sound, another guy to add to that rotation. He's a solid corner. You know, he struggles sometimes, lack focus, but guess what? I'm sure we could coach that guy up. I trust in Brandon. And Brandon Staley, we trust. You know what I'm saying? And then last but not least, safety out of Maryland, Jalen Husky. 188 pick. Jalen Husky, another hard-hitting safety, another safety that can cover a little bit. We got a safety, just in case our safety goes down again. and Julian Wright. And listen, a quick, solid draft, a draft that addresses some needs, a draft that helps this team out. Like I said, this is just mock draft 2.0. This is just mock draft 2.0. We're going to keep doing these things all the way up into the draft. We got two fan favorites in Joe Royal and Nicholas Singleton that went off the charts on the reel. So we brought them back. We brought them back because, trust me, Kellen Moore can do a lot with those guys. And that's a Penn State guy. You know what he does with Penn State running back. Joe Royal, I think he's a mismatch in the middle of the field. So, yeah, like I said, man, shout out to Drew Brees. Congratulations on our Hall of Fame career. Jari Evans, you up next. I'm sure you're going to get in too. But we're going to keep it short today. We're going to keep it short. That's all I got, man. I hope you guys enjoy your Monday morning. I hope you guys actually take the time to watch some Drew Brees highlights. Hope you guys actually appreciate what you had in Drew Brees. And then we're going to move to the Tyler Shuck era. Ride behind Tyler Shuck and see what he does. But I ain't got much more, man. I appreciate y'all guys from rocking with me. And as always, thank you for watching the Sank Sports Corner. May you guys have a blessed day.